He launched the e-Naira platform, which should facilitate and ease, the business environment in our own country. So he has quite a lot to give to the summiteers, and we are hoping that they will find in Nigeria also quite a lot that they can take away from.
After the investment summit, President Muhammadu Buhari is expected to perform the Lesser Hajj in the holy cities of Medina and Mecca before returning to Nigeria on Friday. From Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And before departing for Saudi Arabia, President Muhammadu Buhari unveiled Africa's first central bank digital currency, the e-Naira, a platform designed to deepen financial inclusion and simplify transactions in its complementary role to the paper note. The president said benefits of the e-Naira cuts across sectors and concerns of the Nigerian economy. Leah Katung Babatunde completes the report.
Applause as Nigeria sets foot into the sands of history with the offering of the central bank's digital currency, CBDC. China took the first step. Bahamas and Cambodia have also issued digital currencies. The journey of the e-Naira began in 2017, and the blockchain technology grew rapidly after coronavirus fueled lockdowns and shut-ins globally. These technological advancement is expected to increase Nigeria's GDP by $29 billion in the next 10 years. President Muhammadu Buhari sees the e-Naira making monetary policy more effective and enabling government to send direct welfare packages to eligible citizens, as transactions can be carried out without the internet using the USSD.
This move was underpinned by the fact that the CBN has been a leading innovator in the form of money they produce and in the payment services they deploy for efficient transactions. They have invested heavily in creating a payment system that is ranked in the top 10 in the world and certainly the best in Africa.
Hyperinflation and strain on the nation's foreign reserves are economic concerns the president is also of the view the e-Naira will address. There's been an overwhelming interest in the e-Naira since its announcement, and the central bank notes that 33 banks are fully integrated and live on the platform. 500 million naira has been successfully minted by the bank. 200 million naira has been issued to financial institutions. Over 2,000 customers have been onboarded, and over 120 merchants have successfully registered on the e-Naira platform as at Monday morning.
There are so many other projects, about 3-4 more projects that are on our table, and I assure Nigerians that we will deliver those projects. We usually embark on these projects not because we want to embark on them, but it is because we believe that in delivering our own core mandate of price and monetary stability, that achieving or working on those projects directly impact on our results.
The project is expected to, among other things, support a resilient payment system ecosystem, encourage rapid financial inclusion, reduce cost of processing cash, enable direct and transparent welfare interventions to citizens, increase revenue and tax collection, facilitate diaspora remittances, reduce the cost of financial transactions, as well as improve the efficiency of payments. In Abuja, Leah Katung Babatunde, NTA News.
Still talking economy, speakers at the 27th edition of the Nigerian Economic Summit have called on the collective will, capacity, resources and commitment of all leaders in government, business and civil society towards economic recovery and sustainable development. President Muhammadu Buhari, represented by Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, said the economic sustainability plan, amongst all the economic reforms, are already yielding results. Benny Adams has details.
Conversations are on around economic transformation, shared prosperity, national security, political economy, and digital transformation as stakeholders highlighted the risks, opportunities, and priorities needed for sustainable and inclusive economic growth. For this reason, the Vice President says the federal government will continue to respond to challenges and opportunities alike to ensure sustained growth.
Especially in the context of our stated priorities to reduce poverty and unemployment, which call for increased urgency.
Former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Haile Mariam Desalegn, reminded Nigerians of the need to utilize the opportunities in the African continental market by extending the nation's infrastructure drive beyond the country. For the Minister of Finance, the required investment and policy changes must be implemented in a sustainable and inclusive manner without compromising the prosperity of future generations.
This will entail comprehensive and targeted reforms, a reorientation of our national values, and a radical shift in our attitudes to taxation and public financial management.
The organizers are of the view that public and private sector players must unite to confront the socio-economic challenges in the country.
We cannot be tired. It may be after this summit or the next one or the one after that the transformative cocktail of recommendations will be efficiently and speedily implemented.
The summit has 5 plenary sessions, 19 interactive panels, debates and roundtable discussions, all aimed at building consensus for impactful action. Benny Adams, NTA News.
Buhari has lauded the exploit of the Nigerian armed forces to maintain peace, unity and stability in the country, urging Nigerians to celebrate them as the pride of the country. The president said these are the 2022 Armed Forces Remembrance Day Emblem Appeal Launch, an annual event to appreciate the gallantry, sacrifices and accomplishments of veterans of the First and Second World War, peace support operations and internal security operations in Nigeria. State House correspondent Jide Onifadi reports.
Not many Nigerians that witnessed the First World War in 1914 and the Second World War in 1938 are still living. Since the attainment of independence in 1960, the nation has witnessed civil strife, civil war, violent agitations, but the nation still remains united. As President Muhammadu Buhari says, in spite of all these agitations, the nation still remains united, and the resolve of the citizens to remain united remains unshaken.
These exploits of our armed forces to maintain peace as well as their disposition to unity of Nigeria have contributed in no small measure to our stability. We must therefore celebrate them as the pride of our country. Our faith in our armed forces remains unshaken, and as a government, we will do all within our powers to ensure that our armed forces are motivated to perform optimally.
The President, noting the contribution of both the serving and retired military officers in the war against insurgency, says there is no going back until peace is totally achieved, and urges the Ministry of Defense to continue promoting the engagement of the retired officers and men in seeking the avenues of contributing to national affairs.
The welfare of our ex-servicemen continues to be our priority. The government has continued to prioritize the prompt and regular payment of pensions and benefits to our retirees. We are committed to making life more meaningful to all retirees. To this end, we shall, within the limits of available resources, ensure payment of all liabilities arising from increments made to the pensions of ex-servicemen. We enjoin all to remain steadfast and committed to our country.
President Muhammadu Buhari sees emblem being launched as not only a sign of the sacrifices and blood shed by officers and men of the armed forces for peace and security in the country, but a sign of resolve to remain united as a nation and confront any challenges that the nation may face.
They have demonstrated abiding faith in Nigeria and its development. We sincerely commend them and all Nigerians who have continued to believe in Nigeria by making it their investment destination.
President Muhammadu Buhari had earlier sworn in 2 new INEC commissioners, Professor Mohammed Sani Kala, representing Katsina State, and Professor Kunle Cornelius Ajayi, representing Ekiti State. In the State House, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
This is Panorama reaching you live from the Lagos Network Center. We'll take a short break now. The news continues shortly.
Coronavirus is dangerous. It can kill. When you see this sign, high fever, cough, shortness of breath, drowsiness, pneumonia, don't panic, don't hide, don't embark in self-medication. Promptly visit the nearest medical facility. Report all cases to the nearest hospital. Prevention is key. Avoid contact with infected persons. Avoid crowded areas as much as possible. Wash your hands regularly. Use hand sanitizers. Your life is precious. Stay alive. Live long. Live right. This message is sponsored by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture and the Nigerian Film Corporation. Nigerian Film Corporation, powering possible.
Glad to know that you're still there with us. Mental health affects a person's overall lifestyle and development, which is why experts recommend that adequate attention be given to it. In this report, Ingino John Adams examines the scope of mental health illness in Nigeria.
Mental health is a combination of an individual's emotional, psychological, and social well-being, all of which have direct impact on how a person thinks, feels, and acts. As important as mental health is, data by the World Health Organization reveal that 1 in 4 Nigerians, that is 50 million people, are suffering from some forms of mental health disorders.
When you tell people, go and see a psychiatrist, they say over my dead body, because their image is somebody on the road wearing tattered clothes.
Mental illnesses can manifest in various forms. They include depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, dementia, and schizophrenia. Each presents unique symptoms.
When somebody starts feeling low, no zeal for life, no energy level, maybe having the stress factor, maybe relationship issue, or academic performance challenges.
In some cases, challenges that accompany mental health disorders can be grave, and support from family members and the public is crucial for management or recovery.
If the mind is filled up, is clogged up, then naturally the brain would not do the work that it's supposed to do. And then when it's not doing the work that it's supposed to do, it clogs up your heart. And then, of course, once the heart is clogged up, you understand it basically affects the whole body, and illnesses come from there.
Medical experts agree that more awareness will help families and societies surmount the challenges of mental health disorders holistically. In Lagos, Ingino John Adams, NTA News.
Joining me live in the studio is the Medical Director of Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, Dr. Olubenga Oweye. Good to have you join us, sir.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon. Thank you for having me.
All right, sir. From that report, sir, we see that the statistics of people who have mental illness in Nigeria is a bit wide. How worrisome is this, sir?
Thank you very much. This is actually worrisome. Studies have shown globally that 1 out of every 4 individual in a particular population will have one diagnosable mental illness or the other in their lifetime. So if you now come to Nigeria with a population of about 200 million, so that amount to 50 million people, this is actually worrisome, and there is need for us to do something about it in terms of prevention and treatment.
All right, sir. So what are some of the preventive measures that we should take to avoid getting to this state?
Thank you very much. When you talk about the prevention, there are some things we need to know to maintain a very good mental health. Number one thing is that you must make sure you have a realistic estimate of your abilities. Don't do more than what you can really handle. This is very, very important. Number two thing is that you must know that life itself, okay, it's like a school, okay, where you go to play, learn. So in the process, you may stumble. You must learn that you must get up whenever you stumble and continue to go. That is another thing. Then we must also know that failure and challenges, they are normal part of life. So it will come and it will go. Time will just allow the failure and the challenges to really move away. And number 4 is that you must invest in social network, establishing relationships, because isolation and loneliness are great risks for development of mental illness. This is very, very important. You must make sure you look at this area and you handle it by maintaining good relationship. And number 5 thing you can do is that whenever you have to have a very good sleep. This is very, very important. Whether you like it or not, for you to remain mentally healthy, you need about 1/3 of your life to sleep, which is about 7 to 8 hours to sleep.
Yes.
That's when normal restorative processes take place. God knows the best. That's why he put the sleep, to take good care of us. This is also very, very important. Exercise is good. Regular exercise. By the time you exercise, you discover that at the end of everything, you get tired, you bath, and you'll be able to sleep very well.
I would like to take you to the last question now,
Yes.
sir. The issue of stigmatization. How do we deal with it?
This is a major challenge to mental health and mental illness. Stigmatization and discrimination against mentally ill, the mental health experts, even the institution where they are being taken care of. So it is high time that we collaborate, with individuals, non-governmental organizations, various governments, media houses, both printing and electronic. We must combine effort together to advocate for mental health. This will go a long way to really help us.
All right, thank you very much, sir. I've been speaking with the Medical Director of Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, Dr. Olubenga Owe. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful.
All right, sir. Moving on now. Many world economies are yet to recover from the diversification caused by the coronavirus pandemic. In addition to all the non-pharmaceutical protocols, vaccination is enforced by government at all levels to curb the spread of the disease. The Nigerian Labour Congress has consequently aligned with the federal government to protect the populace from the scourge of COVID-19. The NLC president at a news briefing in Abuja urged workers to shun indecision and skepticism, but take the COVID-19 jab. He appealed to employers of labor to adequately provide the vaccines at workplaces.
I urge workers all over the world, and in Nigeria in particular, to take advantage of the COVID-19 vaccine and keep themselves, their families, and their colleagues at workplace safe and free from morbid threats of the corona pandemic.
The plan to forcefully compel workers to get vaccinated stands against this. This is in view of the recent announcement by the Presidential Steering Committee on COVID-19 that from December 1st, workers should be vaccinated. It says that persuasion should be taken, not compel people. The daily update on cases of COVID-19 by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control as at the 25th of October 2021 shows that there are now 711 new cases from 15 states of the Federation. The breakdown indicates that Delta has 508, Plateau 41, Rivers 40, FCT 32, Enugu 24, Lagos 19, Imo 16, while Cross River and Ekiti have 9 cases each. Abia 4, Benue and Kano have 3 cases each, while Bauchi, Bayelsa and Ogun have 1 case each. There are now 211,171 confirmed cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria, with 202,674 treated and discharged. And sadly, 2,884 deaths have been recorded across the country. And that's how much we can take today on Panorama. Thank you very much for watching.